Well, welcome to the Southampton Boat Show 2025 and the Power Hub. And here we are, hosted by the British Powerboat Racing Club. We've got on display here Boat 48 running in the top class, multi-spark, otherwise known as Janetta, Dean Stoneman and Glyn, who is co-driver navigator. And we're about to watch a interview session by none other than Sarah Donahue, our pin-up of the powerboat racing world, and the team here to be interviewed, including the multimedia company who have made this dramatic film with the colour saturation turned up to maximum that you are briefly watching now. So over to Sarah and the interview.
With the BPRC, the British Powerboat Racing Club. Now I'm here with some quite interesting people and some racing legends. I call you guys legends over here. So we've got from Attitude Media here, who kindly did us this video that you've just seen. We have Tim Cole from Attitude Media.
Hello.
We've also got Terry Spencer. Now, we've got Adam Younger as well. Adam is a great boat designer. He's also an offshore racer, and Adam is the one responsible for building their powerboat that they film offshore racing in. Now, we're also joined by Glyn Noble, who is the navigator of this beautiful 42-foot fountain. He's going to tell us about the boat.
Glyn's very reticent about being interviewed.
And we've got Phil Morris as well from Uno Embassy. Now, Phil has been racing forever, and he's going to tell us all about
Morris, skipper of the most,
so
one of the most iconic boats on the fleet.
If you forget who they are, they're up there in all their glory. 5 or 10 minutes on land.
So we got quite an eclectic crowd here,
water. It is very complex
ardently listening to the interview.
So firstly, Tim, you and Terry work together, Attitude Media.
We do.
Tell us about filming on water and the complexities of that.
Well, we love filming powerboats, so obviously we have to get on the water to film them. I mean, obviously, you know, they're on the land occasionally, but something like this passing you at 100, 120 miles an hour, in all its glory, roaring away, a couple of thousand horsepower, 1,600 horsepower, yes. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I've been to Formula One races, and it doesn't come close to having these boats pass you at speed.
There we are, you've said it in
we just want the best seat in the house, and
sport.
we just film it because we want other people to be able to see what it's like out there, because it's not really, I mean, I'd love it to be a spectator sport, but offshore powerboat racing means you need a helicopter to watch it, really, doesn't it?
And what a wonderful job they're doing.
The fact that it's not it's not a stable platform, is it? So these aren't stable, where you aren't stable, so how do you cope with it? Because you often have the camera, so Terry, how do you deal with that?
Well, luckily our boat is very heavy and it cuts through waves, unusually better than a lot of boats, thanks to Adam Younger, but we'll get there after this.
Adam Younger now being interviewed, boat racer.
Racing for me has always
designer.
been probably about the technical side of it, and I work as a designer. I'm pretty fortunate to kind of work across the world these days.
He is
but
the
it's still about
Adrian
the whole
Newey of the
development
powerboat
boat,
racing world.
of the sport, of the industry, and combining those. As a youngster, I was fascinated why some boats were successful, some weren't. Watching boats, my family were interested in racing, but not from a technical side. So for me, it was always that aspect, and I really went into racing partly to promote my own design work, partly for the buzz of it, and just some great times.
This boat here, do you want to pass the mic over to Glyn? Glyn, this beautiful boat here that we have on display for the BPRC, can you just tell everybody what it is, the size and everything about it?
Yeah, it's a Phantom 42 foot, originally built in the States as a poker run boat in about 2004. A few years later, it was the deck was added on, and the cockpit was all added on, and then turned into a race boat, and then came over to the UK a couple of years ago. Dean Stoneman bought it over and re-engined it and re-rigged it. running a pair of 800s at the moment in the back. We average about 107 miles an hour, topping out at about 115 on a good day. And weight-wise, we're just over 5 tonne, fully fueled.
So the boat is really beautiful, and what is she? She's 42 foot.
42 foot, yeah.
Now, Glyn has been racing a long time. And why did you get into racing?
So my dad used to race in the early 60s and 70s, and he did the Cowes Torquay in 62. But yeah, so it's always sort of been in the blood. So about 15 years ago, I actually got into racing, and I've had a really good time and hope to carry on with it too.
Bit of a legend here, Phil. I mean, he's been just racing forever. And we've got Nigel Hopcroft here, his teammate in the audience, Uno Embassy. So you've been racing for such a long time, and Uno Embassy is such a famous boat. You'll tell us a little bit about the boat, and we also saw the boat on here in the footage that Tim and Terry put together. So tell us a little bit.
She's an old classic 1974 built Planetec Class 1 40-foot offshore race boat designed by Don Shed. There was only 2 ever made. Double Two Shirts is the other one that's still hopefully racing today. And she campaigned with the Embassy team back in 74-75 with Don Shed and his teams in the other boats as well. Tim Powell drove our boat with Harry Himes and Colonel Ronnie Hall in the back, who were the owners of the boat. So they ran her in 74-75 as a replacement to the ageing aluminium Uno Embassy that was running at the time. But with reliability problems of Uno, our boat at the time, she was put away, and the aluminium boat was campaigned from then on. When she was running, she was fast and very reliable in certain races. She won her first race, which was the roughest one, but she was deemed not to be as fast as the aluminium boat of the day. So it was important in the championship to try and get it faster. So they went back to the aluminium one. But unfortunately, it all came to abrupt end when Graham Hill died in his aircraft crash. So Embassy Racing Team, who we were linked with the Formula One team at the time as well, that all disbanded. So the whole Embassy team was broken up, and the boat went off to a guy called Richard Bench, who ran her as Thunderbird back in 76-77. Where she did a few races and did actually do quite well, but he had amazing unreliability problems as well.
A little bit about the boat. I mean,
Yeah.
how big is she? What
She's 40
engines
foot.
does she have?
Yeah, she's 40 foot. She's got big block Chevys, big 9-litre petrol engine V8s, and they're running about 700 horsepower a side now. Back in the day, she was about 600, 620 a side, but we've got the unique setup where externally you would think she had staggered engines, but because we've got the drive centres at 18 inches, which is the standard race setup, but the engines inside themselves are actually mounted side by side.
What is the dry weight of Uno Embassy?
Fully fueled up.
So it's fueled up, it's about 4.5
tonnes. So she's a heavy boat.
How long is your piece of string, depending on the water? But
yeah, we can run 75 miles an hour all day in, which is flat out, more or less flat out, 75 miles an hour at the moment. In anything up to a 5-6 foot chop, she just slides through anything. It's fantastic.
10 miles. Only certain boats can obviously do that with fuel capacity. So what the BPRC have done recently, they've opened it up and taken it back to what it was originally, which was Cowes to Torquay. You stop in Torquay and then you can refuel and then come back, and that obviously opens the door for those boats that haven't got the fuel capacity.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I think it's good for all the spectators down at Torquay as well to get a bit closer to the boats, because obviously we would go down there, just turn the turnbuckle and come straight back again. So I think it's good for the spectator side of things for having us to stop for a while. I haven't actually done that because we didn't actually get to Torquay this year, and I'm quite eager to find out what it's like for
Unreliability
real.
again, unfortunately.
And I think this is the Cows Torquay last year, and you.
Yeah. This has been my third attempt. Well, this year was my third attempt.
See, this is it. You can do the Cows Torquay like for 10 years on the trot and never even get to Torquay. It doesn't matter who your engineer is, what boat you've got. I mean, it's really difficult. Offshore racing is so tough. But come on, what happened to you? Because I had a phone call off you.
Last year was in a 40-foot American cigarette, and off Portland we had a burst fuel line, and the bilges was filling up with fuel quicker than we could get out.
And I had a phone call, and one of the guys had passed out.
Yeah.
Malk Dobson had passed out.
Yeah, so a navigator overcome with the fumes because it was really warm as well, and yeah, he passed out. And Richard, who was driving, he came ill as well. So yeah, Coast Guard, helicopter and lifeboat all came out to come and rescue us.
See, racing, anything can happen, and there are so many stories. And these stories that you wouldn't get from racing on land because they simply just don't happen on land. But in powerboat racing, you have to cope with so many different things, and it can get. So thank you, and thank you, Adam, for building their boat, allowing them to film us on the water. Glyn for the boat here, and Phil for your eye-opening experience on Uno Embassy. And Adrian, thank you for speaking to us about Good Boy Vodka. And of course, head down to Good Boy Vodka down there, bright green, you can't miss it, 52 foot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Sarah Donoghue. And if anybody wants to see some of the exciting action photography by Attitude Media, who are watching this video on YouTube, then do tune in to the Attitude Media channel on YouTube for some exciting action. Thank you.